Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We chant from verses 61 to 65 of chapter 2. Tani sarvani sanyamya,
Tani sarvani sanyamya,
yukta asita matparaha,
yukta asita matparaha,
vashe hi yasyendriyani,
vashe hi yasyendriyani,
tasya prajna pratisthita,
tasya prajna pratisthita,
dhyayato vishayan pumsaha,
dhyayato vishayan pumsaha,
sangasteshu pajayate,
sangasteshu pajayate,
sangat sanjayate kamaha,
sangat sanjayate kamaha,
kamat krodho bhijayate,
kamat krodho bhijayate,
krodhat bhavati sammohaha,
krodhat bhavati sammohaha,
sammohat smriti vibhramaha,
sammohat smriti vibhramaha,
smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha,
smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha,
buddhinashat pranashyati,
buddhinashat pranashyati,
ragadvesha vimuktaistu,
ragadvesha vimuktaistu,
vishayanindriyaischaran,
vishayanindriyaischaran,
atmavasyairvidheyatma,
atmavasyairvidheyatma,
prasadamadigacchati,
prasadamadigacchati,
prasade sarvadukhanam,
prasade sarvadukhanam,
hanirasyopajayate,
hanirasyopajayate,
prasannachetaso hyashu,
prasannachetaso hyashu,
buddhi paryavatishthate,
buddhi paryavatishthate.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So last week we went into more depth about kamaha and its various modifications. Many sadhaks have been sending messages that how useful this wisdom is in understanding themselves and also solving the deep-rooted emotional issues. See, that is the real aim of this entire process. Not to study all these emotions as if you're studying some other subject. This analysis is being made to help you in analyzing yourself and help you in resolving your issues. That is the key. See, if you merely analyze and leave it at that, you are just analyzing what the problem is. So then what? That is of no use. But if your analysis is directed towards solving your issues, then that is true spirituality. You call it by any name you want. You call it Jnana Yoga, you call it Bhakti Yoga, whether Dhyana Yoga, whatever it is that you call it. It does not matter. Ultimately, whatever we are doing is aimed at resolving your internal conflicts and issues. It is aimed at gaining mastery over yourself. So that is one thing which you should not forget. Number two, many people have mentioned that so many questions which I had, all that has been answered. Actually, almost every week I get these kind of messages where a few people always say that many of our questions have got answered. I'm so happy that your questions are getting answered. So what does that show? Even if you don't ask your question verbally, or even if you don't send your question, anyway your questions will get answered. Your Guru will answer all your questions. And when I say Guru, I don't mean this personality. I mean that Supreme God, the Guru Shakti. A Guru Shakti may answer through Yogishri. That is a different matter. But if you sincerely seek, you will get the answers, either directly or indirectly. So that is something which you should think about. Now sometimes we think that unless I go and verbally ask, I will not get an answer. See, a master has many ways of answering. Sometimes he may answer verbally, sometimes he may answer in silence. Sometimes if a person wants to meet the master, he says, no, he doesn't give appointment. That is what will suit that person. He may give healing in the background, and that will help the student. So there are so many different ways in which the master functions. So you should not limit yourself to, just mere verbal question answer session. In this case, you just write and there ends it. See, if you really think about it, the infinite is present before a thought arises in your personality. That infinite reality. And the Guru Shakti is an aspect of the infinite. So even before your question in the form of thoughts is, gets crystallized in your mind, the infinite is always there. It is only in that background that the question is generated. So the answer is also already there. It's already there within you. It's very interesting. There is one more thing also which I had noted, that is, many of you have started doing deep sadhana now. You started using this wisdom to genuinely reflect, to genuinely go within yourself and change your change or purify the very nature of your mind, which is something excellent. So since you're all putting so much of effort, what I'll do is I'll reveal more secrets today, more subtle points, because week after week, when you do more sadhana, your capacity to receive increases. When you're just looking at these things intellectually, then why last week, the very first week, just about 20-30 minutes of whatever I had said is more than enough. But if you are penetrating, then more and more things will be given. So I'll give you more subtle tips today, which will help you from a sadhana point of view. Because one question which many people have asked is that how do we trace the emotion? We now have better clarity, but how do we sublimate the desires? How do we sublimate our negative emotions? So this question has been asked. I'll give you more tips to penetrate. Instead of directly giving answers, I will give you points which will trigger the process of self-introspection and sadhana within you. Because ultimately sadhana is not external, it is an internal process. So one way is to give direct answers. But better than that, especially when it comes to deep sadhana like the self-introspection and understanding the psychology of your own mind, it is better to keep on giving points which will trigger the process of self-introspection within you. That will help you discover yourself. We use the word self-realization, but actually it is not self-realization, it is self-discovery. What we mean by self-realization is nothing but self-discovery. So first, you need to discover yourself at the relative level, and then you will be prepared to discover yourself at the absolute level also. So what did we see last week? The various modifications. I had given you a total picture. So kamaha is uncontrolled thought flow, uncontrolled desire. Desire to possess and enjoy. But it is totally out of your control. So whenever that kamaha is there, three options come. Purtihi, apurtihi and vignaha. So purtihi means fulfillment. Apurtihi is non-fulfillment. Vignaha is when there is an obstacle. So what you need to understand is the moment you have kamaha, it is in a state of apurtihi, non-fulfilled stage. So when it is not fulfilled, you will have anxiety. Will I get it or not? That anxiety will always be there. And then if it gets fulfilled, I gave you a few things. Like first thing that will happen is you will get sukham, happiness. Naturally, whenever a desire gets fulfilled, you get a sense of temporary happiness. That is no doubt happiness, but it's temporary. But then, what are the different modifications? So you will develop lobha, greed. You will want more and more and more endlessly. You will develop bhayaha, fear of losing whatever you have. Any fear can be traced to loss of something. A possibility of losing something causes fear. Fear of death because of the possibility of losing your life. Any fear you take. Then mada. Mada means pride. You become very, very proud. See, whenever you acquire something in life and your desires are fulfilled, immediately the mind goes on a chakkar. It starts developing a superiority complex over people who have lesser than you. And then matsarya, jealousy. This is towards people who have more than you. And whenever you live your life in comparison with others, you will never be peaceful. See, your life is yours. You are an unique individual. You have come into this world. Now you need to decide what you want. You need to put in efforts to get that. And you need to be happy about it. Another person's life is his or her life. But what we do is we always compare ourselves with others, either people who are lower than us or people who are higher than us. So whenever you compare yourself to someone who is lower than you, you develop mada. Mada means pride. Whenever you compare yourself to someone who is higher than you, you develop matsarya, jealousy. Both these modifications will not allow you to be peaceful. That is, they will not allow you to peacefully experience and enjoy your life. I know many people when they go to their friend's house or relative's house, the moment they see, oh, they have bought a new dining table, immediately they go back and they buy a dining table because they feel very low, So any form of comparison is not required at all. And even when you're looking at your own child, never ever compare your child with some other child and say, look, that person is studying, why don't you study? Instead, independently you can tell your child, you study, or whatever it is that you want to tell. If assuming that is a good value which you're teaching, independently you can teach. If at all you refer to somebody else, that should be for inspiration or for education purposes. Oh, see, look at this person, what mistakes he has done. So that we don't commit a mistake. That is not comparison. Look at this person, he has achieved success. What are the reasons? He put in a lot of hard work, so he achieved success. So here you are trying to absorb the principle which that person applied. You are not trying to compare yourself with that person. So whenever you have kamaha, this is something which you will start doing. You will start comparing yourself with others. And you will divide others into two categories. Others who have more than you, others who have less than you. And since this kamaha is coming from sangaha, which is attachment, to whomever you are attached to, you will start comparing that person with others. Like if you are attached to your child, you will start comparing your child with other children. You will want your child to be the best child according to what you think is best. We always tell the children, you should come first. That is a wrong training. Why should you come first? Because the moment you say you should come first, it is always in comparison with others. Instead, independently, you should master whatever subject you are studying. You should gain more knowledge. You should do things in the best possible way. That is different than saying you should become best. You should become number one in comparison with others. So what happens is, whenever you have these modifications, number one, you will compare yourself with others, and then whomever you are attached to, you will start comparing them also with others. So you will either put that person's confidence down, or you will boost that person's ego, and your child also will. The example I am giving is that of a child. A child also will develop a complex, so a superiority or inferiority complex. So you need to be careful. Then apurtihi, when your desire is not fulfilled, that will lead to dukkham, sorrow. And the dukkham, if you don't take care of it, it will lead to vishadaha. Vishadaha means depression. Arjuna himself was in a state of vishadaha. Chapter 1 is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Beautifully titled. The yoga of Arjuna's despondency, yoga of Arjuna's depression. It's been deliberately titled like that. Because how can depression be a yoga? Has anybody questioned this? See, we just mechanically read through. I know many commentators, there's Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the yoga of Arjuna's depression, they say. Now, how can depression be yoga? It is yoga if you have the yogic approach. Because taking depression as an example, what Vyasa is doing is, he is tracing back and studying the entire mind. Whenever there is a modification, an effect, per se that is not yoga, that is not spirituality. But when you trace out the cause in order to resolve the issues, then it becomes yoga. So, apurtihi will lead to sorrow and depression. And then the third one, vignaha, obstruction we saw. The moment your desire is obstructed, that will give you a lot of pida, pain, annoyance, irritation. And when that irritation is directed towards others, it becomes krodha, anger. When the irritation is directed towards yourself, it turns into frustration and guilt. Sometimes you have a desire, you want to fulfill that, but you don't have the capacity to fulfill. Then you become an obstruction towards the fulfillment of your own desire. That will lead to a lot of frustration, self-criticism, So remember, guilt is useful for you to know that you have done something wrong. But once you know that you have committed a mistake, thereafter, if you stay put with guilt, anutapaha, then what will happen is after a while you will not grow spiritually at all. So in our ancient wisdom, what they have suggested is don't get stuck with guilt. Instead, do what is called as prayashchit. Prayashchit means things which can neutralize your karma. What do we mean by neutralization? If you think you have done something negative in life due to which you're suffering, now do the opposite, do the positive. So today, again, there is a very wrong understanding of this word prayashchit, the neutralization process. Many people think prayashchit means I need to go and break coconuts in the temple. I need to, visit out of all the temples. Somebody will tell you, visit this particular temple, then that will neutralize. It's not like that. See, you have done certain karma, certain actions due to which you get certain results in life. So you will have to neutralize that karma, for which you need to do sadhana. So as far as these modifications are concerned, the analysis which we have made actually helps you understand your own mind better. So how do you sublimate them? One way is you go deep inside and locate that particular kama, desire. And then when you do sadhana, slowly, the kama will disappear. That will get converted into the positive force of ichha shakti, willful desire. You will start fixing goals in life and you will function. That is a long-term process. A short-term solution, that is when especially when the modifications are very high in intensity, you require to calm your mind down temporarily so that you can do the deeper sadhana. So for that, many methods our yogis have suggested. I am just giving you one method. As we go along, wherever the context comes, I'll be giving other methods also. But one by one, you need to take and master them, So one effective method which they have said is that, see, whenever you have a very powerful modification like anger, let us take krodha, because Krishna himself is giving krodha as an example. So supposing you are very angry. Now we are going to see this in the next verse, where he will say, once you get angry, slowly the anger will possess you and you will become one with the anger. That is what he calls a state as moha. Moha we'll be seeing in verse number 63. So what our great yogis are saying is, if you can just separate yourself a little bit from that emotion, then that emotion will come under your control. You will be able to release that extra force of that emotion so that your mind becomes calmer. So how can you create that distance between you and the emotion? That is the most difficult thing, because you will have no awareness, nothing. In the verse 63, in the second half of the ladder of fall, he'll be so beautifully tracing it, that how when you get caught up with the modification, slowly, you will lose all your senses, the sensibility, the awareness, all that will go away. So one of the methods which our yogis have given us, whenever you're having a very powerful negative emotion, then what you should do is turn your attention away from that emotion to your breath. Carefully follow what I'm saying. This is a yogic technique. Distraction is one very, very effective way by which you can get things under control immediately. Now, one way is to distract your mind from the problem to something else outside. But when you do that, the moment you are free, immediately again that problem will come and it will start bothering you. So what our Rishi said is, instead you start focusing on your own breath. See, the breath and the mind are very much interconnected. Whenever you have these modifications like fear, anger, jealousy, whatever be the modification, if you observe your breath, you will find that your breath will be very shallow and fast. The more slow your breath is, the more calming effect it will have on your nerves, on your mind. Actually, it's the reverse. When your mind is calm, your breath will automatically slow down. But as a sadhana, as a practice, you can also use the same breath to temporarily calm your nerves. So the moment you put your attention on the breath, what will happen is you will find that the breath is very shallow and very fast also. Like when you're having too much of anger, you will be breathing like that. But the problem is you're not aware of this thing today because you're so caught up with the emotion. The emotion has literally overpowered you, as he is using the word abhijayate, means completely overpowering, So, number one, they said, bring your focus to the breath. You will find your breath shallow and fast. So, the moment you find that your breath is shallow and fast, immediately put in efforts to breathe deeply. And when you're breathing deeply, what they said is the emotion is there. Now you're shifting the focus from that emotion to the breath and you start breathing deeply. In that process, you breathe through that emotion as it were. It is a very, very powerful practice. I have mentioned this in bits and pieces here and there. Now I'm giving it to you as a sadhana. Start practicing it from today. This will help you so much, and it will also prepare you tremendously to receive the higher energy when we do advanced courses. This year we're having this 22-day program, The Ancient Secrets of Health, and then in the coming years we'll have more and more deeper programs. Now this small practice will prepare you so much. So deep breathing and breathing through that modification, whatever be that emotion, that will release the extra pressure of that emotion. It will calm your mind down. When your mind is calm, then you can analyze and locate the source of that emotion and keep doing sadhana. So when the modification is very powerful, then you may find that even breathing deep is difficult. See, even though I am saying do this sadhana, in practicality, you will face a lot of difficulty. First of all, when you are very, very angry or when you are fearful, just to detach yourself from that emotion and focus on the breath is that itself will be difficult, but yet it is possible. And then the second thing which I am saying is breathe deeply. That emotion will not allow you to breathe deeply because your breath is under the direct control of your mind. If your mind is agitated, your breath will be shallow. If your mind is calm, your breath will be deep. Here your mind is agitated. Therefore, it will force you to breathe in a shallow way. But if you can use your awareness, your willpower, and breathe slowly, breathe deeply, and breathe through that emotion, what will happen is the extra pressure will get released. This is a small practice which I am giving you. Please try it. That will help you so much in your penetration, because when you're able to detach yourself from the emotion practically even a millimeter, little bit, how much of power it gives you. It is amazing. Whereas when you are caught up with that emotion, now you have no power at all. So the sadhana which is being given, no doubt you will find it difficult, but something may be difficult, but it is possible. It is through practice that you can master it. This small thing, start practicing from today. In case you're finding it very, very difficult to breathe deeply, because sometimes when the emotion is so strong that will not allow you to breathe deeply, then what you do is you breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth. In the 22-day advanced course, I will explain more about this and even make you practice that, so that all these there are different ways of breathing. Each one has one effect, especially when we see the balancing of the air element, Vayu, I'll be giving that. But here I'm mentioning it with respect to the emotions. So you can always feel, just that extra pressure will start getting released, and then you can utilize your reserves to penetrate what is the cause for this modification. The second thing which I want to give you today, again this was not planned, it's seeing your sincerity, the amount of efforts which you're all putting, then these things have to be given to you, the subtler tips, because you're fully ready to receive, So another thing which will help you so much in penetration and finding the source of your problems is that we say that kama will give rise to modifications. But what you need to understand is, it is not that every modification will have a direct desire. It may be an indirect desire. See, when there is a direct desire, it is easy to locate and solve. But what happens in life is, your desires are not direct. That is the connection between the desire, the kama, and the modifications like fear, anger and all that. I'll give you an example. Supposing you are very short-tempered. A person is very short-tempered. There's a question which a man has asked me. So I'm taking that as an example, explaining the principle to everyone and also answering that question. How do I overcome short temper? I get angry at many people. He says I get angry with my spouse, with my children. For small things which they do, immediately I get angry. So how do I overcome that? Now, gently, when you're very short-tempered, you're getting angry at people. Now, if you try to locate the source, oh, this person behaved like this. So, I have a desire and expectation that that person should not behave like this. That person should behave in a particular way. When that is not being fulfilled, when there is an obstruction there, immediately I get angry. This is one level of analysis. But usually, the problem will not be so simple. Long back, there was a man who came with this problem of short temper. He used to get angry with his wife almost on a daily basis. And his wife one day told him, this is too much. See, we are attending the Bhagavad Gita sessions and all that. Now, with all this, if you're, every day, if you're going to get angry like this, now how will our relationship be good? So he also heard her out. He was actually a nice person, but he was, when he used to get angry, he was going out of control. So he was asking her, so what shall we do? She said, we will go and ask Yogishri. Because you're missing something from the lectures. There is some point which you're not absorbing. So they came to me and the wife said, sir, this is the issue. He gets angry. So I asked him, is that so? He said, yes, sir. For small things, I get angry. Now I told him, find out what desire is getting obstructed. I explained a little bit of this. And immediately the wife said, sir, could it be that, one day the food is not okay. So his desire is he wants tasty food. So immediately he gets angry. So like this, many desires. I said that is a very shallow way of looking at it. Let him do sadhana with it. And I had given him some practices. I asked him to do Yoga Sankirtan sadhana for 3 days with this intention in mind, that is to locate the root desire. So the wife said, sir, why all this? Instead, if you tell us, won't it be useful if you tell him? No, I told her, are you the guru or am I the guru? Let us be very clear. See, if I tell him directly, it will not help him because that is only external knowledge. He has to discover it. So I am helping him to discover it. I understand you being the affected person, you're wanting a solution immediately, but sometimes, you'll have to learn to be a little patient. So she said, fine, sir, fine. So he did that sadhana. Now, first day, nothing happened. Second day, nothing happened. On the third day, he, when he was doing the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, suddenly the whole clarity came for him. Like a flash, in front of, and in his mind screen, the whole picture was displayed to him. What was the root cause for all his anger? The root cause for his anger was not his wife, was not food, was not all the things which he was getting angry about. The root cause was very, very simple. When he was in college, that is during his college days, he wanted to become a doctor. But his parents had forced him to become an engineer. He was not actually exactly engineer. There is one step below an engineer. There is some course, he told me, which is in line with engineering. So his parents had forced him into that. Why? Because his father was so passionate about engineering. So they forced him. But he wanted to get into the medical field. And at that time, he didn't have the courage to speak up for himself. So that was the desire which was frustrating him. Now his parents were no longer alive. So on whom is he going to show the anger? To anybody whom he is attached to. So he was very attached to his wife. So all that energy was getting directed towards his wife. So that root desire he located. The moment he located that, from that second onwards, he stopped being angry with his wife, because he understood, now by getting angry with her, how am I going to solve that issue? He came and discussed with me. He said, what should I do? I said, do sadhana, and through sadhana, you should slowly sublimate this desire itself, and you can fulfill it vicariously by getting a lot of knowledge about medicine on your own. You need not, now you cannot become a doctor and practice, but when you say I want to become a doctor, you mean to say I want to get medical knowledge. So that you start gaining a lot of information, knowledge, and fulfill your desire to a good extent, and do the sadhana and work on sublimating it. Many methods were given to him. And his wife, within a month she came and said, sir, it is a real miracle. He has become so calm, so composed. Why I am giving you this example, this incident which happened, is for you to understand that you may be angry with somebody, but your desire may be something totally different. You may be afraid in one area, but your desire may be in some other area. So all these modifications may not have a direct desire. So when you have an indirect desire, that is when it becomes very difficult for you to locate the source. You need to do deeper sadhana for that. This is a tip which I am giving you. This will help deeper sadhaks. See, when you are doing superficial sadhana, this tip is of no use. But since you are all doing deeper sadhana, now this tip will be extremely useful. So locate the base desire for any issue which you are having, not that immediate desire. A lady, she used to get very angry whenever her husband used to watch cricket matches on the television. Her husband was a lover of cricket, and she used to get extremely angry. So when they came and they asked me, he said, I really don't understand why she is objecting to my watching a cricket match. So when I asked her, she said, yes sir, I feel so angry whenever he watches the cricket match. He said, yeah, I wanted to watch the World Cup final. She never allowed me to watch that. So she said, I myself don't know why. I don't want him to watch the cricket. Whenever he sits in front of TV, I get very angry. And invariably, he mainly used to watch only cricket matches. So then, when she did more sadhana, she was able to locate the desire. The desire actually was not that he should not watch cricket match. That was not the desire. The desire was that he should spend more time with me. That was not happening. She had certain desires which, to spend some time, to have certain conversations with him. Since that was not happening, that was manifesting in this area. Whenever he used to watch a cricket match, he used to come and put an obstacle there. So the moment she located that root desire, I told her, now you actually don't have any objection to his watching a cricket match. So why are you connecting this and that? Instead, directly you both have a discussion. Find out how to get more time and start spending time with yourself, with each other. And the moment they did that, thereafter, she used to say, whenever he used to watch cricket matches, there was no anger, there was absolutely no irritation from my side. So this is the deeper practice which our yogis have given, that is locating the base desire, the source desire. So from desire is born anger. Anger means vikaraha, all these modifications. So he is not telling you which desire will cause what. Because if he tells you all that, then what is there for you to do sadhana? So you will have to work out those things. So a human being thinking on sense objects develops attachment, and from attachment is born desire, and from desire is born anger. All these modifications. Now, in this whole analysis of kamaha and what are the various modifications and all that, you all have forgotten one point which I told you a few weeks back. That is, when I was explaining this word dhyayato, I gave you a few dimensions like the casual thinking, then the serious thinking in order to obtain information, then recalling, that is recalling an experience. So these kind of dimensions I had given. I mentioned to you that there is one more dimension called imagination. Dhyayato has another dimension which refers to imagination, to imagine something. And I told you that meaning I will give you later, the deeper secret behind that I will give you later. Now is the time, because having covered all this, when I give you the deeper meaning of that, you will find it very, very useful. So dhyayato, which is the starting point of everything, it means casual thinking. Sometimes you may think casually about something. That's how the whole modification starts. See, you're very angry. This is this extreme. But where did it start from? From dhyayato, the thinking process, the first initial thoughts which you generate. Now, those thoughts mean they may be casual, they may be serious thoughts to get some information. Then after the experience you may be recalling. All these things are there. But one very important dimension of dhyayato is imagination. He says dhyayato means to imagine. So what is it that you are imagining? Why I am mentioning this dimension now is, if you understand this dimension of dhyayato, that will help you in overcoming the modifications which we saw, the fear, the anger and all those modifications. What these great masters are saying is that whenever you generate thoughts, it is always directed towards acquiring something from outside. And why do you want to acquire something from outside? In order to become happy. Now this very process they are saying, it is an imagined one. What is the imagination there? You are imagining that happiness is there outside you. Whenever you think happiness is there in some object, then this whole process of dhyayato will start. But the fact is that you have infinite happiness within you. The source of happiness is within you only, not outside. So when you realize the fact that happiness is there here, then that is what is reality. When you don't realize that happiness is there within you, then you start imagining that it is elsewhere. then this whole process will start. The dhyayato, and then from dhyayato, sangaha will be developed, attachment. From attachment, kamaha, uncontrolled desire, and from kamaha, all the various modifications. So when you are trying to overcome the modifications, you may locate the source desire. But then how do you sublimate that? In order to sublimate a desire, first you should understand what is a desire. Why is it that the mind produces a desire? Whenever you feel a sense of incompleteness, unhappiness, then you generate a thought flow, the dhyayato, sangaha and kamaha, three different stages of thought flow. So we'll call it thought flow, or we can even say uncontrolled desire. It's all one and the same thing. So you generate a lot of thought flow towards an object in order to become happy. Now, this is why you're developing a kamaha, a desire. If you want to sublimate the desire, it is not by focusing on the external object that you can sublimate the desire, but it is in realizing the fact that you have happiness within you. You are not an incomplete person. In the Upanishads, they use the word Purnam. You are Purnam. Sampurnam means complete. Right now, just absorb whatever I am saying. Throw away all your questions. Throw away all your logic. Just directly absorb this message. You are complete within you. You are an ocean of bliss. But due to ignorance, you are not aware of this, and you are imagining that external objects can give you happiness. Therefore, you start this whole process. You are not starting, it starts on its own. So, desire is a mechanism which the mind is using in order to try and fulfill the unfulfillment, or in order to fulfill that incompleteness which you feel within yourself, using some object from outside. That will never work. So the process of sublimating a desire is to go to the very source of the desire. Why is the desire coming? We say because of attachment. Why is the attachment coming? Because of dhyayato. But why is the dhyayato, the very initial thoughts, also surfacing? It's because you're feeling incomplete. You feel you're lacking something. Right now, absorb this message. You are not lacking anything in life. All you have to do is just close your eyes and feel the infinite presence. All the problems which are bothering you are so petty when you consider that infinite power which you are. So the moment you do sadhana and you start getting attuned to that infinite power, you will start feeling very, very complete. You will start feeling very happy. Then this whole process itself can be thwarted. This is the way you can sublimate any desire. Forcefully trying to suppress yourself when you have a desire will not work. That will only lead to more frustration. In spirituality, forcing never works. We say, you should never force the mind. So the mind is generating these uncontrolled desires today because it feels happiness is there. So it will go on generating. But when you do your sadhana and when you understand, when you realize that you are the source of happiness, you are an ocean of happiness actually. You are in a position to make others happy. You are in a position to give happiness, not seek happiness. Then this whole process will stop. You will gain complete mastery. I'll give you an example. Supposing, let us say, a very, very rich person, that is the son of a multi-billionaire. He comes to you and he says, "Can you give me a job?" Now you ask him, "What is your background?" And he tells you, "My background is I am a very poor person." That is because he doesn't know that he is a son of so and so. Now the moment you look at him, you know his father, let us say. You can see from the face itself he resembles, and so you do some research and you find out. You contact the father and the father says, "Yes, he is my son only." Somehow you come to know. Now you have that knowledge, whereas he does not have that knowledge. So he is feeling very poor. He says, "I don't have a job, sir." His father is a multi-billionaire. Under his father, there are thousands of people who are working, who are employed, He has businesses all over the world. And this man is telling you, "So please give me some job. Just a decent salary is more than enough." And he says, "I don't even have a house to live in. I'm living in a rented place." His father actually has a house in every country, one house in one country. But here this young man is telling you that I don't have even one house. I'm finding it very difficult to meet my ends. So can you please help me? Please give me some job. Now, there are two ways of approaching this. What will you do? One is you will tell him, okay, I will now get you a job. I will get you a good job, a decent salary so that you can settle down in life. All these methods you're giving him. Now, have you actually solved this problem from the roots? No. Because his potential is something else. So the real solution is, if you educate him and if you tell him, if you make him realize that he is the son of that multi-billionaire, then the moment he realizes that he is the heir to the big empire which his father has, the moment he realizes that, then all these thoughts that, I require a job, I'm not able to meet my ends, I don't even have a house, feeling low in confidence, all these things will instantly disappear. Because he will understand that I can give jobs to others. This is called sublimation. So when you are suffering from these various modifications, when you go to a master, initially he will tell you, find the source of the desire, locate it, you will gain more control over your own mind. All these things he will tell you. But that is not enough. That is like getting that young person a job and leaving it at that. When he is an heir to multi-billions, how can you stop with merely getting him a job? So when you are the heir to the infinite, not billions, you have infinite powers within you. How can a master just stop at saying that a modification, desire is there, so locate the source of the desire, you will get good solutions in life. You're also very happy. You write down notes and you go, oh sir, so thank you so much for giving us these deep insight. Anger, so many modifications I have. Now I'm able to locate all the desires, and my life has become much better. You say all that, but the master is still not okay with that, because he knows that all this is still relative only. But you are the heir to that infinite throne, to that infinite kingdom. As Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. When we read the Vedas, that's what they're saying, Tattvamasi, that thou art, that infinite you are. You have infinite powers within you. So being a multi-billionaire, he is still going and begging for a job from somebody. That you will laugh. The moment I say this, what is this man? He's not understanding. But the same thing is happening with you. You being the infinite, you're going and begging at the objects, external objects, for your happiness. How absurd it is. So when you go to a master, on one hand he'll give you these practical tips, but he will not stop with that, because these things will help you to solve your issues in life, but merely that will not help you to realize your infinite potential. So he will also inspire you to do sadhana. He will keep giving the highest message forcefully, so that goes deep into your system and you get connected with the infinite. So every kamaha which you have is because you're thinking that object can give me happiness. So on one hand, do the practical sadhana, the application. But on the other hand, do this sadhana also. Every day when you're sitting and doing yoga sankirtan, just get connected with the infinite. How do I get connected? Don't ask me that. Just sit with that surrender. If your intention is pure, all the infinite grace will be showered upon you. There are no methods in that. For everything else, I can give you a method. But if you ask me, in order to get connected to the infinite, sir, please give me a method, I cannot give you a method. Because a method is finite. And how can anything finite give you the infinite? Methods are only to help you solve all the finite issues. But solve all the finite issues and prepare you. But the real sublimation happens when you get connected with the infinite. There is no method there. There is no path there. There is no guru, no sishya, nothing there. It is just the infinite. It is only at the relative level that there is a student, there is a guru, there is this wisdom given, all these things. The entire wisdom is within you. So somebody has asked this question, how do we differentiate between Ichha and Kamaha? Ichha Shakti and Kamaha, willful desire and this uncontrolled desire. I gave you a few points last week. I said Kamaha means there's something which is not under your control, whereas Ichha means it's a willful desire. Now I'll give you the deeper, one more point which is very deep. Whenever the mind generates a desire towards an object, thinking that the object will give it happiness, that is called kamaha. Whenever you generate a desire in the mind, see, carefully follow my word. Whenever the mind generates a desire on its own towards an object, thinking that object will give it happiness, it is called kamaha. Whenever you generate a desire in the mind for functional purposes. That is called ichha. So there is a difference between you generating a desire in the mind and the mind generating desire by itself. So when you are generating a desire in the mind, that is for functionality purposes. Yes, these duties have to be done. This is the role which I have to play in life. So without thoughts, without desires, you cannot function. So consciously you generate those desires in the mind. That is called Ichha Shakti. You fix goals and you function. But you are not doing that with an idea that that object will give you happiness. Happiness is something within you. You don't depend on anything or anyone for your happiness. If you want happiness, just close your eyes and start experiencing what is there within you, that infinite aspect. So every day you do the sadhana and you get more and more connected. You do yoga sankirtan sadhana and you get more and more connected with the infinite. As you begin to get connected with the infinite, your capacity to use this Ichha Shakti will automatically increase. So this is a very, very basic difference between Ichha Shakti and Kamaha. Kamaha is produced in order to get happiness. In Ichha Shakti you are already happy. And an Ichha or the desire, willful desire is produced in order to do certain things, that is for functional purposes. This is what later on Krishna will be telling in the 3rd chapter to Arjuna. He says, there is nothing in these 3 worlds, Arjuna, which I really want, because I am in the state of supreme happiness. Yet I am continuing to act. When he is stressing on Karma Yoga, the yoga of action, he says, Arjuna says, I don't want wealth, I don't want. He says, what do I want, Arjuna? Think of my state. There is nothing which the 3 worlds can offer to me. Means what he means there is, anything in the world is not going to add on to my happiness, because I'm already in that supreme state of happiness. Yet I am continuing to act. That is where the Ichha Shakti comes in. Because certain roles which I have taken up, I need to fulfill. So they are never saying drop off the desires, they are only saying drop off the kamaha, this whole process of attachment and uncontrolled thought flow, because when you are approaching the world with that kind of attitude, even if you get those objects of desire, you will still not be happy, because you will develop all these modifications. You will end up getting stressed. The more your kamaha, the more stressed you will be. So the solution is in converting your kamaha to Ichha Shakti. And how can you do that? Only by getting connected with the infinite. As long as you feel that I am incomplete and I require something from the world, you can never be happy. Happiness is not an object for you to acquire. Happiness is a subjective experience. Please understand this. Acquire any amount of wealth you want. Nothing wrong with that. But don't acquire wealth thinking that you will get happiness out of wealth. Already be happy, with or without health, with or without wealth, be happy. Let all your actions be an expression of that supreme happiness. Let all your desires be an expression of that supreme happiness. Then that becomes Ichha Shakti. So when you see a master functioning, you may get confused, because that's what happened with Lord Krishna. When they saw Lord Krishna, they were wondering, what is he? Nobody could see the spiritual potential of Krishna. Very few people recognize Krishna for his spirituality. See, he was a very charming personality. That was different. But the real spiritual depth of Krishna, who understood? It was only the great yogis and siddhas who were meditating, who had reached an exalted state. They were only able to recognize Krishna as an avatar, not others. Arjuna himself never recognized Krishna. As he only saw him as his close friend. That's all. What was real potential of Krishna? Slowly only he began to perceive that. Why? Because externally, Krishna, it looks as if Krishna had a lot of desires. Because he was very active, he was fulfilling all the duties, he was always bubbling with cheer, enthusiasm, and full of life. So any master will be like that only. So you will get confused. That is why it is said, never ever judge a master by his actions. You will make a mistake. Because what is happening within him, you will not be able to assess. So he is using Ichha as a force for functionality purposes, but he is always in a state of happiness. Externally, it may look alike. So what is the real test? When something goes wrong in life, a person who is afflicted with kamaha will immediately get affected with one of these modifications. Whereas a master, when something goes wrong in life, he will still remain calm, he will still remain cheerful, and he will look for practical solutions. So life will ultimately expose you. So you cannot fake it. So that is the meaning of dhyayato. Imagine. You imagine happiness, you imagine that happiness is there in that object. The whole thing starts from an imagination. Just as this young person imagined that he was poor. And he was not poor. He was heir to billions of, a huge empire. Each one of you have come out from that infinite. You have directly descended from the infinite. What is the difference between you and an avatar? You and Krishna, you and Buddha? Both of you, that is whether it is Krishna or Buddha or you, all have come from the infinite. Krishna is fully aware of that. Buddha means an awakened one. Anyone, any master is fully, he has understood, he has discovered that he is the infinite, whereas you have not yet discovered. That's all. So, all these practical tips I have been giving, all this is fine, but in this process, don't leave your basic sadhana of yoga sankirtan every day, every single day, because that is what is going to help you to get connected with the infinite. All these will help you to face life, will help you to prepare yourself. But getting connected with that infinite, which is your birthright, that is the ultimate solution. Okay, we will stop with this today. I think I have blasted you with higher wisdom, with more energy today. That is my real, the real level, or how to put it, where, see, it's like when the helicopter, when it is going at a low speed, or even the flight, when you sit on the flight, when it is going at low speed, you will feel it shaking. But when it goes at a very high speed, it will be smooth. So when, for any master, when he is talking of the highest, it's a smooth ride for him. Full inspiration he'll blast. The other things are more meant from a practical level, because not everybody can directly relate to that fully. Each one is a percentage. So the rest we are making up through practical tips. So if last 2 sessions, a lot of practical tips have been given. Even in today's session, I started off with more subtle points, but then the real wisdom is the secret lies in the dimension of imagination. So, what is the sadhana message when we say imagination? What is the message to all the sadhaks? Do your daily yoga sankirtan sadhana and get connected with the infinite on one hand. One hand, don't lose sight of practicality. Use all this wisdom to resolve your issues. On the other hand, do yoga sankirtan sadhana and keep getting connected to the infinite. The more you rise higher, the more you keep rising to the higher and higher dimensions, all the powers which are dormant within you will start getting awakened. Okay, we will stop with this. Today's message was very powerful, so you need to absorb that. Before the meditation, I will take up a couple of questions which were asked about the 22-day program. One is Neha has asked in the YouTube comment, she has put that question whether apart from that morning and evening preparatory meditation, should we also do the Kaya Tattva meditations every day? Not required. Just follow whatever I am giving you. Yoga Sankirtan you should do, and the morning and evening meditation. Kaya Tattva and all we will see during the 22-day program. Okay, that is one thing. Another question also has been asked by a lady. I'm just reading the question. Pranams Yogishri. I have been attending sessions on Bhagavad Gita for the last few weeks, and I'm extremely benefited. The depth with which each word is explained really gave me better clarity and inspiration to walk the path. So now my doubt is that I'm already in Vedantic path, doing Vedantic Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana for the last couple of years. My query is whether practicing Yoga Sankirtan and attending the 22-day sessions in December will be complementary to my already practicing sadhana. Kindly pardon me, sir, if I am wrong in presenting such a query. Yogishri has also mentioned in one of the lectures that one should stick to a single path and should not deviate from one's path. Hence the query before taking a decision. Ananta Koti Pranams. That's a very nice phrase, Ananta Koti Pranam. Pranams means I bow down. Ananta Koti means infinitely bowing down. See the bhavana, that's very inspiring. So this has been asked by Tangam from Thrissur, Kerala. So the answer to this is very simple. The Yoga Sankirtan sadhana will complement anything else which you do. Not only other sadhanas, anything in life which you do, Yoga Sankirtan sadhana will complement it, will enhance it. So the sadhana of Vedantic sadhana of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana which you're saying, that is very much in line with whatever we are doing. Actually, see what I am giving you is more depth in Shravana, Manana. That is, Shravana means listening, Manana means reflection. Nididhyasana is not meditation. It is that's how people loosely translate it. It is installing things in the deeper layers of your mind. That is exactly what we are doing. That's one of the things which we are doing. So actually there are no different paths and all that. There is only one path, which is raising of your consciousness. So Yoga Sankirtan directly uplifts your consciousness. So all other methods which you're doing will have to converge to this process ultimately of raising your consciousness. So Yoga Sankirtan is directly raising your consciousness. Other methods are indirect ways of raising your consciousness. So they will never be against each other. So this many people have asked similar questions. So whatever it is that you're practicing, that is fine. This is going to add more depth to your practice. So the 22-day program will increase your perceptiveness, will increase your health. It will improve your health condition, it will increase your mental, the emotional maturity, your intellectual clarity, in order to become more penetrative. So you can definitely do so. Try it out and see. Then only you will understand what I'm saying. Because many people who have tried it, they have reported the same thing. Okay, so now we'll have meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. Expand your chest, let your abdomen come out when you're breathing in, and contract your chest and let your abdomen go in when you're breathing out. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. I am not this body. This body is outside me. The mind contains various emotions and thoughts. I am not this mind. The various emotions and thoughts are outside me. I am that supreme infinite consciousness. I am Purnam, complete. I have infinite happiness, infinite bliss within me. Nothing in the world can give me happiness. That infinite source of happiness is within me. My entire body, each and every cell of my body, my entire mind are filled with a divine happiness. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back, wriggle your fingers, your toes, rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of your head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today it was another deep session, powerful session. In the meditation, I took you very deep within a short time and made you experience that supreme bliss You all must be experiencing that. Your thought flow will be very less right now. See, this is a practical proof. When the moment you get attuned to the infinite, even a little bit, immediately the dhyayato, the sangaha, kamaha, everything mellows down. So imagine if you do your sadhana on a daily basis and get permanently attuned to the infinite, then the mind becomes your slave. The mind will do everything which you ask it to do. What a powerful and glorious state that is, So you all should aspire to get into that state. There were also a couple of more things. One is Purna Chandraji. He has sent a message in the YouTube comment section. He had put that basically he says, I show my humble gratitude and thanks to you, because he and Rima, his spouse, they've been blessed with a baby boy on 12th October. It is something wonderful. They had attended the 5-day finite to infinite program. What is interesting is there was some problem with the uterus medically, due to which conception, the doctors had said conception was not possible. But Rima did the sadhana, and she activated the self-healing powers, and she has now given birth to a baby. So that shows that if you are very, very sincere and if you do your sadhana, you will get your solutions in life. A guru comes to enrich your life, to help you, but then you also have to play your part. So all the best to both Purnaji and Rima. I'm so happy, and I want all the other sadhaks also to join me in congratulating them. See, you should feel so happy when somebody else gets something in life. Immediately you should feel very happy. That is what will help you evolve spiritually. So why am I reading this to all of you? So that I want you to practice this. That is, being happy when others are happy. Whenever something good happens to anybody, immediately you should bless them. You should be so happy that God has given them that. That is unconditional love, So by reading, and I've asked you all to join me in congratulating him, I'm almost forcing you all, which is usually not my style. But when it comes to unconditional love, little bit of forcing is okay. So it is so wonderful. The other thing is Hitanshi Midag has sent a question. She said, Namaste Yogishri. Last night around 2 a.m. something happened to me, and I was wondering if you could help me understand this better. I was trying to sleep and suddenly my whole body froze. The point between my eyebrows started to burn. I was having goosebumps across my entire body. It was mildly uncomfortable, so I tried to open my eyes, but I couldn't do that. In less than 2 seconds, my eyes closed again. This happened for some time, and then I just fell asleep. Please help me understand what was happening to me. Thank you. Why I'm reading this question is, like this, many others also have sent a few experiences and asked me to explain. What you need to understand is, this is a very positive experience. See, when you're feeling a sensation here between the two eyebrows, that is the seat of the Guru Shakti. The powerful energy center is there at the pranic body also. So since you're very devoted, you're very much connected, you're doing your sadhana, and you must also started doing the morning and evening sadhana. So these energy centers are getting opened up, because I told you, the moment you register for the 22-day program, I have started the healing process for all those who have registered. And plus I'm also giving you sadhana, through which, that morning and evening meditation, through which a lot of healing is happening. So many of your energy centers will start getting opened up, and you will have wonderful experiences. So you said I was feeling uncomfortable. Uncomfortable feeling is not of the experience. Since it's something new to you, you are not used to it. You're thinking it is not normal, but it's very much normal for sadhaks. And so many more things are there. This is nothing, but this is a powerful experience. So the end result is you slept very peacefully. That is what is very important. So whenever such experiences come, even others have given their experiences, like they felt kind of electricity flowing through their body when they were sitting and listening to Yoga Sankirtan, or even that morning and evening meditation. One person has written that she felt a lot of some kind of energy flow, vibrations, she was feeling. Yes, all those things, that is, those two are meant for preparing you. So I'm preparing you for the 22-day course. So whenever these kind of experiences come, just experience it, enjoy it, and leave it at that. No need to try and find the meaning behind every experience. Each one will have one experience. Now don't compare your experience with some other's experience and say, why haven't I experienced that? Each one of you will experience his energy in your own unique way. So go through that, enjoy that, and relax. All this is for preparing you for that 22-day program. So regarding that morning and evening meditation, somebody has asked, should we do it after the 22-day program is over? No, that is only a preparatory thing. So once we get into the 22-day program, it's going to be very, very powerful. And after that, what you should do and all that, I'll let you know towards the end of the program. And I will create some material like this for you. This one should not be used in a general way. This is only for people who are going to get empowered in that 22 days. And even them, it's not for using it later on. So regarding your daily practices and all that, as and when the time comes, I will be coming up with more material also, which you'll find it very useful, that we'll see. Okay, so we'll continue next week. Thank you very much.